Let's get into the news. The News Fanatics podcast production. It's Super Soda Bros. We both got drinks. I have a sour.
I have 10 ounces of vodka.
You know how we do it. Pro Ukraine up in here. But
It's just water.
no, okay, that's kind of sad. But hey, I'm Caleb. And
I'm Luke. I'm Luke.
better late than never, I suppose. I really can't argue with that.
Sure.
So this is the Super Soda Bros podcast. We're talking about random stuff. We kind of have shied away from the more categorical segments. Like, Luke, remember back in the day where we used to do, like, the next big thing and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Now we're not really doing that too much anymore.
No.
It's sad.
Really.
I noticed it, and I was like, you know what? That's kind of sad. So we gotta stay true to our roots. So I have a list of things that I do want to touch on this episode, and
Oh.
I found a way to make it part of our regular segment. So for the next big thing, we have plumbing.
Mario.
It's true. It's kind of what our podcast is based off of. The name, at least.
It's based off of Mario.
Yeah. So we have to pay homage to our roots. Also, us being Italians are pretty good plumbers.
Yes.
Think about it.
And
Well, if we go back historically, the Romans were very good plumbers because they were the ones that built the aqueducts through all their cities to carry water to different parts of the county. So I feel like with us being part Italian, we kind of can tap into that plumbing kind of experience.
okay. Where is this? I'm confused where this is going currently.
So the next big thing is I think I'm going to be a plumber. Here's why.
Wait, I was like a career?
As a hobby, as a fixer-upper, but here's why.
Okay, show me the way.
So, last week, I was using the toilet, as you do,
Oh no.
and there was a moment when I got up from said toilet. I was completely finished, and you pressed a little plunger thing on the side there to make sure all the water goes down. Well,
The little lever.
yeah, the little lever there. You press it with your finger. So I pressed on it instead of it being swoosh. It went clong.
Look, I know how to fix this issue, but
And so I'm like, that's weird. And the water keeps running. So I take everything down from behind the toilet. I open the lid, and oh boy, it's flooding. And it's flooding like crazy. And everything inside of it that used to be attached is now detached. Or unattached, I think that's the word. So I reach in there. It's all like, it's clean water, but everything's like dirty and rusty in there.
yeah, it's all like grimy.
Yeah. And I realized something was very, very wrong because there was lots of pieces of metal all over the toilet on the inside of it. So I'm like, oh man, how do you even begin to fix this? And
Jeez.
the little lever that's attached to the handle where you flush, there was like, almost looked like a stretched out paper clip that was broken in half and was still dangling from it. Very much newer than the rest of the internals of the toilet. So I think someone else also had this problem and fixed it with a paper clip.
Fixed it with a paper clip.
It basically worked. They basically just attached the chain to the lever area with that, but that had broken just because of rust or whatever. So I was like, I can do this. So I go to the other room. I take some metal wire. I cut it, and I do the exact same thing they did.
You're like someone else's problem down the road.
Exactly. Like, I'm not bringing this up to management because they're going to take like 15 years to respond to me, and they won't even put in a new toilet. They'll just put a new like segment piece in there. So I'm like, I'll just do it myself. And Maya helped me a little bit too, holding stuff in place. Because if you don't hold the lever in such a way that triggers the next automatic system, which fills up the bowl with water. And so we kind of wanted to avoid flushing like 3 gallons every time we're trying to attach this thing.
Yeah.
So that's why I think I'm going to be a plumber in the future because I solved a plumbing issue.
Yeah, because like it's like the lever's connected to another metal object usually, and that's to the chain, which goes to the suction cup that actually lets the water go in the toilet. And as long as that's all hooked together, you should be good to go. But if one thing comes unattached, it'll just flood the toilet. Just keep going
Yep.
and going, going.
And
going.
that's what happened. And I kind of figured that something was wrong with the lever because I pressed the lever and it went clung. I was like, this could either be really good, it could be bad or really bad.
There's no good situation. It's just bad or badder.
No, and I don't know if you've had any crazy projects that you'd have to do yourself in your house, but there have been a lot of stuff that me and Maya have worked on.
The only little thing was with the sink ups. One of the sinks, I think it might have been upstairs. I can't remember if it was upstairs or downstairs. Where you have like obviously the hot and cold water, and then usually in front or behind it is that little thing you pull up to make sure that the water doesn't like seep down into the drain. It just sits there and you can collect water.
Yeah,
Yeah, plug,
the drain plug or whatever.
drain plug, sure, whatever. That wasn't attached to anything. So we had to do some research and figure out the right length for everything and make sure everything was connected to each other so that it would, instead of pulling it down and not shutting the hole, you could actually pull it down and have it shut the hole. Because when you pull it, it would just not do anything. It would just go clong, clong,
Yeah.
clong. So same issue with that, where it just wasn't connected in there. It was super annoying. It was such a small little fix, and it took like a trip to Home Depot to get the right part.
Oh,
Not fun.
It's so funny you mentioned that. We had the exact same issue here.
Really?
Yep, there was a moment in time where our bathtub, where it was the same thing you talked about, where the plunger thing stopped being connected to the actual drain cover,
Yep.
and there's like a metal tube that comes down from the actual lever thing into the drain. It kind of sticks up like this. There's like a little pipe, and then the plug goes on top of it. It's actually a metal plug, so it sits on top of it like this, and there's like screws and whatnot. But for some reason, that became unattached, and there's no way for us to figure out how to reattach it, and it became an issue when the water was backing up, with the drain being regular off.
Ooh.
And we used like 2 entire containers of Drano on the hole, and it was just crazy. We didn't know what was going on. Turns out that with both of us shedding hair, there was a huge like half rotted ball that was all mucusy of hair. Not fun.
Oh.
Yeah, it was not great. And
No.
this problem continues. So we have a temporary fix. There is a little rubber thing. It's like a little rubber ring with like little spines on it.
Yeah, it's like an O-ring kind of thing.
Yeah, you put that in the drain so it catches any hair that falls into.
Oh, one of those filter thingies.
Yeah, so it is still wildly disgusting to try to fix, not fix, but to like clean every week. But at least it's not plugging the drain or anything.
True.
So.
Yeah, that's always gross. Like having like wet hair collecting is like super duper nasty. Blech. Blech.
I hate it, and it's gonna happen.
No way to avoid it. It just is.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
there's little stuff like that our apartment kind of, it happens. Like we've got a new washer and dryer. I'm sorry, no, just a new washer. We just got a new washer. We got a new fridge. So what happened with our fridge was the drawers were so fragile, and I guess it was old or whatever, just use of pulling them in and out, whether it was us or the last tenants, shattered them. So basically all the bottom drawers were out. They were unusable. And so we sent in a request to the leasing office, and we're like, hey, can you like buy new shelves or whatever? Because we were going to do it ourselves, but they're like $60 for each one. I don't know if it was just the type of fridge it was or what, but we sent it off to the actual leasing people. Like, hey, can you come take a look and fix this? And they just ended up getting us an entire new fridge.
Well, they're probably like, I don't want to deal with that. So they're like, here you go, new fridge.
Yeah, they're like, oh yeah, we can get the maintenance guy to come in and do it in an afternoon, and that's that. And that's what happened. And that's the same thing with the washer. Like I forget what problem was going on with our washer. I don't think it was like draining the water correctly, so they just gave us a whole new one.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah.
I'm glad that all the appliances in our house are really new, so we don't have to worry about anything like that anytime soon. Because there are a few houses that I looked at and everything looked like there's one house that we really, I think I probably told you, we really liked. It was probably another 10, 15 minutes north of here in Farmington area and whatever I live in. Um, but the house and the garage were so nice, but it reeked of old cigarettes,
Oh,
and the appliances looked like they're from the 80s. Like every appliance in the house. And I'm like, well, first of all, we need new stove, new washer, new dryer, new oven, new refrigerator, new this, new that. Plus, rip out all the carpet, plus repaint everything.
it was just a
It
whole
would have been
mess.
it would have been a ton of work, but dude, it was a 4-car garage with a loft. Part of me wishes the only reason why I wish we got the house is because there was so much more stuff to do, I guess, on the inside, but that just means more projects.
Yeah.
But the 4-car garage would have been pretty sick 'cause I could have parked like 2 cars in there and had like half the garage be like workspace or like hangout zone or like how some people have like couches and TVs in the garage while they're working or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that would have been pretty sick, but I the smell of the place would have taken like months to fix.
And like a super deep clean. Like you have to buy so many specialty supplies just to get the
Oh
smell out.
yeah. Like hot steam everything, repaint everything. I would just straight up sand all the floors and sand all the wood and then just to get it out because that
Yeah.
would be so much work.
that
But
that's how one of our neighbors is. Like they've been smoking all their lives, and they've been like they basically own it at this point, but they've been renting one of the bigger apartments in this building for like the last
yeah.
20 years or whatever. And they just every single one of them smoke. There's 3 people that live there. They're all old. They smoke constantly, and it got to be so bad that like we had to put towels and stuff underneath our front door just to block the air from coming in.
Jeez.
It would stink up our entire apartment just from the bottom crack in the door.
Dude, imagine their apartment.
Oh, it's awful. We've been in there a
They
few
probably
times.
don't- they probably don't even have like smelling senses. They
No,
probably can't smell.
no.
They probably just like, oh, it smells fine to me. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's how it is. So whenever they move out or die, it's going to be one of those things where, well, this room is going to be unsellable for the next 5 months
Mm.
just from cleaning it. So there was something else that I wanted to get to. I have a couple more things. So okay, so next for the never barely tried. This is something that annoys the crap out of me, even more so than normally. And I'm going to explain the normally side first. So,
Oh,
I'm not like an angry driver. Like, I don't mess with people or get mad at people and drive awfully because of it. But I do get annoyed at people that are bad drivers.
like you're like kind of sitting there and someone does something stupid and you're like, dude, what the heck, man? Like, why?
Yeah, like merging at the last second when they had the entire freeway to do that.
Yup.
You know, braking hard for no reason. Not like a brake check on purpose, but just like
Overbraking.
yeah. And there's a ton of other stuff too. Um, like you pass someone and then it's immediately a red light. So I typically get a little bit mad at that kind of stuff. But there's one incident that really ground my gears. So I'm driving home from work. It's like
Mhm.
6:30, 7 o'clock. I'm literally right down the street from work. I cross over an intersection and then I get to a stop sign. And so there's a car in front of me. That's my ring hand. There's a car in front of me and I'm right behind it. It pulls up to the stop sign and stops. And I wait like 10 seconds. And there's no cars coming. And it's a one-way street that we're turning onto. So you only have to look one direction. There's no cars. There's no headlights, no nothing. So after 10 seconds goes by, I do a beep. And I wait because, maybe they're.
Yeah, common courtesy. Just let them do their thing.
Yeah. And then, like, another 5 to 10 seconds go by. Still nothing. So I go beep, beep, beep. And then I wait 5 seconds. And then I go beep because they're still not moving. And then the passenger door opens. And out comes, like, this middle aged guy. And he's like, oh, man, what are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, it's a stop sign. He's like, she's dropping me off. And I'm like, it's a stop sign. Just pull over to the side of the road beforehand. And then he's like, you could have gone around. And I can't go around because that's turning into the oncoming lane. If someone turns, they hit me. Also, it's illegal, and you don't park at a stop sign. And then so as I'm saying all this, we're basically talking over each other. And then he goes, step out of the car. Step out of the car. Literally, it's like seeing that I'm mad, obviously, but then taunting me to fight him because of this. Like, I'm not in the wrong. It's him.
Yeah. If you had a dash cam, you could totally be like, screw you.
Yeah, well, it should have been the opposite. I should have been challenging him to fight because he was the wrong one.
Exactly. He knows he's wrong, so he's like, oh, fight me then. Yeah, fight me.
Yeah, like I get if you're
That's stupid.
I get if you're dropping someone off, but like pull over to the side of the road instead of specifically right at the stop sign. Like,
So stupid.
I got so mad and like I thought about it the entire drive home. I was fuming, and I thought to myself, this is going to be a good topic to talk about on the podcast.
I've literally never had any experience close to that before.
Oh, so like in like a road rage incident, you've never talked to someone?
I've never talked to someone, and no one's ever like flipped me off or yelled at me or anything like that.
I mean, everybody gets beeped at. Have you gotten beeped at because you did something dumb, or maybe you were driving normally and someone was just mad at you for no reason?
I think there was one time where there's an intersection and it was like a green it's semi busy road like 40 miles an hour, but it was like a stoplight, so it was like green, well, not stoplight, yeah, stoplight, so it was like green light, and then red light. So I was coming here and then taking a left to go on my turn, obviously, and someone was like really far away, so I'm like, oh, I can totally go this. So I just take my time, and then they speed up into me. I'm like, oh jeez, floor. I'm like, boom, like, jeez, what are you doing? Because then technically, I would have been in the wrong because I was on crossing over.
Yeah, you're crossing.
I had so much time, and then I saw them speed up. I'm like, well,
Were they
that was like,
were they coming down off a hill, or is it flat?
no, just straight.
Why do people be like that?
I'm like, technically that would have been my fault, but at the same time, I had a ton of room, like plenty of room, like an extra 5 seconds for them to come by. But nope.
You took the time into account of how long it would turn, and then you're like, oh,
Yeah, I'm like,
recalculating.
oh, they're coming. Ooh. But aside from that, I don't think I've ever had an incident where someone was like mad at me. Which is kind of nice.
I mean, I've done.
Well, tomorrow.
I mean, it's gonna happen sooner or later, just based off of how many encounters you have. But I can't really think of any specific ones. That's definitely the first time I've interacted with someone on foot. Even though he might have been in the car literally 5 seconds prior. But I've had people look at me weird in traffic, and I don't make too many stupid turns or anything. Like, not enough so that people will beep at me. So, yeah, I don't have too many of that. And it's especially funny because I drive for a living. So,
Yeah.
I've had people beep at me if I'm parked on a narrow street, because out here in Pittsburgh, all the streets are like this wide.
Yeah.
I apologize if you hear a siren in the background. There's a firehouse kind of close by us.
I don't hear it.
Okay, when it gets louder, you'll hear it. Anyway, so yeah, all the roads are super narrow, and so me being at a big truck, you can't always pull over to the side of the road because there's not space, because there's cars on both sides. So if you reach your destination, you kind of just have to put it into park, find your package, and then sprint up to the house and sprint back. Yeah, you're like, Zrr! You literally close your door when you open, and you just open the driver door and just go. And it takes like maybe 15 seconds, depending on how far away the house is. But I've had people beep at me when I stop in the middle of the road. I'm like, one, do you not see I'm in an Amazon van? Two, I have my flashers on, and I'm literally sprinting up the steps to drop it off.
Give me a second to do this.
Yeah, it's frustrating, but
people think they're so entitled to be like, "Excuse me, you're in the middle of the road. Beep beep beep. Excuse me, you're not supposed to do that." I was like, "Give me another option."
Yeah, it's like, and there's towns where that kind of road is more normal than the other ones, and so every time something like that happens to me, I'm like, oh, so this is your first time driving in this town, I see.
So you must be new.
Yeah. It's yeah. People are in such a rush to get by. It's like just be patient for a little bit. I'll move. It's not like I've been parked there for 5 minutes and then I casually get my stuff and walk up to the house. Like I'm actually making an effort to get out of their way.
True.
I have a lot of horror stories from work, but more funny stories than anything, especially with coworkers. Um, so and like I'm sure, especially with your job too, working in close contact with other people every single day, you kind of form bonds with people.
Yeah, there's probably like a core group, probably 4 people I'm pretty close with, and then the rest of the people are just kind of like acquaintance kind of thing.
Hmm.
Like I know them, like maybe chit chat like a few words here and there, but like there's like 4 or 5 of us that just like kind of hang out.
Yeah, that's how I am at my work. I have like a group of people that are in my one of my group chats, and so we just send memes all the time and complain about work. And then there's other people where I know their faces and I know they've worked there for a while, but like I literally don't know anything about them because I've never spoken with them.
Hmm.
So it do be like that, but
Yeah.
yeah, and I even told them about this podcast, and I'm like, hey guys, check out me and my brother's podcast, and I put the link in the group chat,
Oh, jeez.
and then uh
Jeff Bezos comes online.
right.
Mm.
Thank you, Daddy Bezos, for sponsoring us. No, and
Hey,
so
Daddy Jeff.
it got to the point where when we came up to visit you, I said, yeah, we just got back from our visit with my family, and one of my friends was like, oh yeah, you mentioned that on the podcast. I'm like, oh,
Oh, you listened. I
well,
see.
at least to that one.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, that's cool. So,
That's cool.
also, I want to ask you real quick: have you seen the Batman yet?
Stop.
You haven't seen it?
We were gonna see it on Saturday night, but by the time we were done seeing Christine's family and everything, it was like 8, 8:30, and the last show was at 8:30, so there's no way for us to see it.
Oh, I gotta bleep. I gotta bleep that. We can't say the name of the town.
In the town of the place,
Yes.
the last show was at 8:30.
Oh, okay.
Um, so we weren't able to see it, but we might go see it this weekend. Maybe we might go Friday night or Saturday night because her family's coming up. Her mom and dad and her sister coming up to help with a few things and unpack a few things.
Okay.
So we might go Saturday night, or we might just go her and me and her and I is in the on Friday.
Okay. Is there a way you can do it during the weekdays? Like, if you guys get out
It's a
of
3-hour movie though,
yeah,
and guess where the closest theater is?
is it 45 minutes?
It's right across the street from TurboCam.
Really?
It's literally like TurboCam Road Theater.
So just go after work.
But Mando,
He'll be fine.
well, come on, he's in the house for 8.5 hours by himself. He needs to get let out.
Oh man,
I can justify a Friday night, but
just bring him with you and just leave him in the car.
crack the window, put in some Scoopy snacks, be like, "You're good, bud."
Exactly. It's all good in the hood.
But hopefully we go see it Friday night. We'll see.
Okay. Yeah, because I have a lot of things I want to say about it.
Zip,
But I know.
zip, doo-dah.
I know. I watched it with one of my friends from work, so Maya hasn't seen it yet either. So I'm gonna take her sometime soon, this week probably. But it's really enjoyable.
Good.
It really
Good to
is.
know.
Um,
I had a feeling it was going to be like that. Just a fun, not fun, but like a good bat.
oh yeah, like I mean, even what you see from the trailers, like it's a very dark Batman. Like, it's 3 hours long too. So in typical DC fashion, they're gonna be really nailing every single scene.
Yeah.
And because it's a dark movie, the use of color in it is mind-blowingly awesome. And color and lighting especially. That's going to be the two main things to watch out for how beautiful this movie is.
I'll try to convince Christine to go. Well, it probably won't take much convincing, but maybe we'll go see it Friday night.
Yeah. And then report back on how it is, and
Yeah.
we can talk about it.
Yeah.
But it was really, really good. I think I'll probably have to see it again with Maya before I make my final call, but it might be my favorite Batman movie.
Dark Knight.
I know everybody says Dark Knight, and Dark Knight is really, really good, but I think this one might beat it, but I don't know yet.
Like overall flow and character kind of thing.
Everything together.
Like in my eyes, the only good Batman movies are the Christian Bale Batmans, and the one with
Jack Nicholson,
no, was it Michael? No,
Michael Keaton, yeah, Michael Keaton, and
no, Michael Keaton, yeah, Joker, and Jack Nicholson
yeah,
as Joker.
yeah.
Those four Batman movies are really good. The one with George Clooney, the one with what's his face, not good.
Val Kilmer.
Yeah, hard
Yeah,
pass. No
yeah,
thanks.
no.
Nipple Batman.
Bat credit card.
Yeah.
It's like I didn't know we were taking a hard turn back to the 1960s.
But yeah, I'm excited to see it because when I first saw the trailer last year, I'm like, no way, this is so good. Because I'm a big, even though I'm not wearing my Batman sweatshirt right now, I'm a big fan of Batman.
Yeah, he's probably he is one of the best. DC
Batman
heroes.
Batman's pretty much Elon Musk.
He kind of is like
Basically, Batman right now. I mean, he like canceled Russia internet or something like that.
yeah, and he gave what
Ukraine satellite stuff.
yeah. I was just trying to find the name for it, but yeah, he's definitely like, oh yeah, you get free internet, and we're like blocking out all the Russian intelligence.
I'm Batman. You're welcome.
But yeah, we'll talk about the Batman later on when you see it. But
Yes.
I obviously I don't have to tell you at all. But it's
We should
great.
probably do like a snippet either on Saturday or Sunday or something, just like a short, quick synopsis of it when it's fresh in my head,
Yeah.
and just like add it to the next podcast or just post a quick little thing.
Yeah, we can do it like we did with the Jed content. Just have it be like a separate video
Yeah.
where it's like a bonus episode or whatever.
Yeah. Bonus podcast for 15 minutes.
Yeah, for sure.
This week's sponsor is brought to you by the one, the only
Jedward.
Focus. It's not wanting to focus.
Back up a little bit.
Oh no, it's too bright.
That's all. Yeah, because your ring light is just blasting it. Here, tilt it down.
It's not focusing.
Oh, what a fail. Turn down your brightness. Turn down your brightness all the way. There we go.
By Jedward. You know him as Jed. Oh no. Oh no. This is such a great podcast that tells you how much money he's donated to our stream in our Jedward. You can find him on twitch.tv/Jedward. He's got all your favorite content like Apex tips, Apex top 10, more Apex gameplay, funny moments, Apex gameplay, videos of Apex gaming with friends, and Fortnite.
I love
That's
me
all the
some
time
Fortnite.
That's all the time we have because don't check him out. Please don't.
He is probably one of the worst streamers, but he's
got a lot of He's got a lot of followers, so check him out. He's got like 55 followers on Twitch. That's pretty good.
Oh my gosh, he sports mode.
Yeah, X game mode.
Yeah, X game mode. Yeah.
That was legit.
I don't watch any of his stuff. I'm just being honest.
I see some of his clips and stuff here and there if Micah sends it, but he has a couple videos that are kind of funny. But mostly he's not gonna watch this because he's Jed. But his videos are massive goo goo poo poo stinky garbage.
Stinky.
Uh-oh.
Okay, well, remember like a couple months ago, he had one Apex video that was like really well edited, and we're just like, dude, this kid's got skill, and then it all went down the drain.
That one video where he did his voice was per word, like edited like Smitty and stuff.
Yeah.
Like he would say something in subtitle that took him like 16 hours to edit.
I mean, I believe it because you gotta find the wave file, the waveform, and then attach a text file to that exact length for each word, basically.
Yup.
I couldn't do that.
I mean, he's got a handful of videos that are actually really good.
Yeah, I mean, and even with that video that we were just talking about, I complimented him on that. I'm like, Jed, that was a really good video. Can you do my editing? And I think he's doing really good editing now. It's just the kind of content that I think it dips too far into the try hard, even though he's good. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
especially on YouTube. And this isn't like if Jed, if you're watching or listening to this, I'm not taking. Don't take that as like an insult or anything like that. It's just your style is different.
It's geared towards the generation of 10-year-olds who don't have an attention span.
Mm-hmm. And just same thing with us. Like there are a lot of things that we talk about that boomers aren't going to listen to, or the generation below us aren't going to listen to either, because they're like, why are they talking for, especially with our early podcast, why are they talking for 25 minutes about Halo? That's ridiculous. I don't care about that. So I guess we're kind of specific in our topics too.
Yeah. But Jed's video just sucks massive.
Yeah,
It's just bad.
he's a poopy face.
He's a poopy head. You're a poopy head.
But best of luck to you, Jed.
Honestly,
thank you for sponsoring.
Best of luck. Thanks for the sponsorship. Do what you love. It's what you love. It's what you love.
All right, so
Yes.
Luke, have you ever had to ship anything to anyone?
Almost.
Okay. Do you find stuff on Facebook Marketplace and you're like, I should probably buy that from someone, but then that person might do a bad job packaging my thing that I bought from them and it might get broken. So you go on an official website and buy it from there instead.
Yes. On Facebook Marketplace, I always try to go local before looking for places I can ship. So, hence why I've put stuff on the marketplace and tried selling stuff for shipping purposes. Like, hey, like if you want to pay for shipping, I'll send it to you. The same thing if someone else, like, hey, I'll pay for shipping if you ship it to me. And sometimes you kind of have to trust the person. And I haven't gotten to the point of like negotiating how to pay versus when the package shows up. So I've really gotten to that point. Because like I've made offers on things, and in their description they say I will ship this item. I'm like, cool. I'm like, can I offer this and pay for shipping? I'll give a lower price because I'll pay for shipping. They're like, oh, I can't ship to your location. I'm like, why? They're like, I just can't ship it. I'm like, okay, then don't say you can ship.
Yeah, exactly.
That happened 3 times.
Especially because you wanted to pay for shipping, right?
Yeah, exactly.
They're just being
and then they said, yeah, and they're like, oh, I can't ship it there. I'm like, what? What?
Maybe they're international, but that shouldn't even matter either.
They're not. I go on their profile and I see where they're located.
Oh, weird. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But when you're shipping stuff, whether you're sending something to a family member or a person that you met online that you're sending a product to, you have to get the right size envelope or the right size box, because if you get something too big, now you're paying like extra money for a bigger size that you don't need, or maybe you get maybe it's too small or too big, or you need like more bubble wrap inside of it so it actually doesn't close when you try to. So trying to like pre-buy boxes for that is extremely hard, and there's a way around it that I've done where I keep Amazon boxes sometimes if they're kind of medium or smaller. So when I need to ship something, I can just grab an Amazon box rather than running to Target or Staples to get a specific size box. But if you are still worried about, I need a specific size box, and I need it, maybe not now, but maybe in the future. Luke, I want to let you know this is going to be life-changing. Ready?
Yes.
The post office will ship to you free envelopes and boxes on demand.
What?
Yes.
How do you do that?
You go to the post office website. There is a not marketplace, but there's like a inventory option, and you can pay money for different styles of boxes. There's like specific international ones if you're shipping like customs, like alcohol or passports or something like that, like official business type stuff. but there's like basic priority mail envelopes and boxes that you can buy for free, and then the post office will ship it to you.
Really?
Yeah, I will. Let me see if I can find the address for that. I'm gonna. Okay, so you type in post office shipping boxes free, and then the first link is store.usps.com.
Yes.
You go on that. Now you're on supplies, and you see right here pack of 10,
Ah.
0. Priority mail Tyvek envelope, 0. Small customs declaration pouch. So if you're flying or shipping something as you're taking a flight, you need that. So obviously not all of these will work for all mail, but there's tons of different stuff. Signature confirmation receipt, $0. Registered mail label, which is a sticky note basically, also $0. And then different size boxes and flat envelopes for whatever you need. And there's a couple pages, so you can get different size boxes, you can get different size envelopes, you can get cremated remains kits. So if you need to send your grandma's ashes through the mail, you can do that too for free.
Jeez.
So
All I have to do is pay for shipping.
nope, shipping's free too.
What?
Yep. Yeah, because like let's say we're going on this, we're gonna.
No, I mean like shipping. I mean like shipping the item that you're selling or giving.
Oh yeah. I mean because
I was about to say, I'm like, whoa.
no. Just the actual shipping supplies to your house is free. Obviously, if you're going to be sending stuff in the mail, you got to pay for that with postage and whatnot. But yeah, that is something that words. How do they work? I got a couple different sized things, and I'm just waiting for those to arrive. But I got them like a week ago, and obviously that's not going to be a priority for them. So it's going to get here when it gets here.
Well, that's pretty cool though. Thanks for the helpful tip. Adulting.
Yeah, finding any shortcut we can. And once they come in, I'll let you know, so I can tell you what the time frame is. Because right now it's been like a week and a half or so, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Huh. That'd be cool.
Yeah. This beer is really sour. I'm not really a fan of sour beers, but
Me either. All right, I have a proposition fun game, and we can talk about it next time. All right, so I just had this thought the other day, and I just forgot until now. For the next podcast, I want you to, well, me and you, and in order, okay? It'll be technically full album length, so 13 songs, an odd number to choose from. Yes, it's not 15, it's not 10, it's 13 songs, so it's like an album, like a band would release. What's your 13 song heavy metal album? So basically, what's your top 13 heavy metal songs of all time?
oh man!
And you can include rock if you want to, but I'm saying heavy metal.
Yeah. So can it be a heavy metal band such as Demon Hunter, but I choose one of their slower songs? Or does it have to specifically?
Well, I mean, it's not an entire album. Like, you just pick, like, Demon Hunter Extremist, that's your one album. I'm just saying, like, just 13 heavy metal songs.
No, I know. But, like, I'm saying, like, as a heavy metal song, can I pick a Demon Hunter song, but it's a lighter one? Like, Heart of the Graveyard or something.
Sure. Because it's still, I'll still consider that heavy metal, because it's a heavy metal band.
Okay. All right, good to know. So
top 13. And you have a good bit of time to figure that out.
okay, I have like, I mean, definite 5 in my mind, but I definitely have to look a little bit deeper. I'm like, okay, do I like the band or do I like the song or both?
See, that's the thing it comes down to, because I have probably a handful of songs now that I'm like, I don't know, haven't known this band for very long, but these songs slap and I could listen to it forever. So it comes down to nostalgia versus all around really good.
And also like new like songs that we have discovered like this year where it's still fresh in our minds, we're still passionate about that song, but maybe like 5 years down the road you're like, I've kind of grown on from that. That's not in my top 13 or whatever anymore. So
Yeah.
that'd be fun. I'm excited for that.
So would you rather do top 13 or just keep it simple and do top 15?
No, 13.
Good.
Because 13's
It's an odd number.
And 13's the unluckiest number, so that kind of fits in with the pagan rituals of heavy metal or
Exactly.
whatever boomers
So
say.
so top 13, I'll probably start mine at the end of this week, or I'll think of it when I'm at work. But top 13 for next podcast.
Okay. And do I have to label them in order, like number one on my album is my top song, or can I just put them in any order I want? Because if we do that, it's going to make it real tricky.
Well, if you get your top 13 though, then you can just go through those 13 and then like, okay, I like this more than this, but this more than this, and just filter them.
Okay. Are
If you
we?
really, or we could just do top 13, make it easier.
I mean, it's whatever you want to do. It's your game. Or think about it and let me know later on.
Okay, I'll
Um,
text you if I remember one of these days.
okay. Also, when we reveal the lists, obviously we're gonna have like a document to show. But can we also make a playlist of it in Spotify and then like listen through a little bit?
Oh, true.
Or like listen to like any 15-second portion of the song, whether that's the drop at the end or the chorus or whatever.
Or we could add like the like a link in the YouTube description, and you can click on it and go listen to it.
Mm-hmm. I'm saying
Something
like,
that.
like even for the podcast, like so that people can hear a little bit of the song, or maybe that'll take too much time. I don't know.
It might maybe take too much time. If you really want to know, we could just do like pop ups on the screen and be like when you say like, oh, my number fifth song is bound to be something under Oath something, and you just have it plop on the screen so people want to see it or listen to it, they can go listen to it.
Okay, I could definitely do
Like,
that.
and just like keep adding those and don't get rid of them. Just like add another, add another, add another.
Hmm. Yeah, because like I definitely learned a lot more with Adobe Premiere, so I can definitely do that kind of stuff.
But yeah, that was my thought. Of doing a top 13 list of metal only.
I am excited. This is gonna be a blast.
I'm like, ooh, because I was listening to As I Lay Dying the other day, and I was just listening to them on the computer. I'm like, man, some of these songs are so good. It's all like, ah,
Yeah. Oh man. And I don't want to talk about it too much because I feel like we'll talk about it next episode when we make our list. But Attack Attack is back.
I told you, and some of the songs are pretty
They're,
good.
they're pretty banging. They're playing at a bar here in Pittsburgh in like a week or so.
Whoa.
The same place where we saw Red play acoustically.
Oh,
Yeah, it's very small, so it's gonna be.
does it cost anything, or is it just like
Oh
show
yeah.
up?
Oh yeah. No. It's like I think it's like 30 or 35 bucks or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they might play classics though. That's the thing. So I think they only have 3 albums.
Yeah. They might just do all their new stuff because it's a lot lighter. Some of them.
It's more electronic based.
Yeah, I mean, and their earlier stuff was very electronic too. But
Well, the early stuff I would put more as techno.
yeah, because remember, we were was it me, you, Ethan, and Arthur? We were debating whether like Attack Attack was a metal band or not, and Arthur was like
Yeah.
vehemently like, "It's not metal. It sounds like this EDM crap." Because it was like the early 2010s, so he's like, "It's EDM dance
Listen,
music."
Also, Arthur listens to Asking Alexandria and like the like punk emo metal. So like that's metal, but it's like a whole different genre
It's
of
not
metal.
even that far removed from Attack Attack because Attack Attack.
It's really not. Attack Attack is closer to like Asking Alexandria and all that, and
Breathe Carolina or something like that.
Not Breathe Carolina. Bring Me to Horizon.
Yeah.
Those bands are so much closer than Attack Attack than like As I Lay Dying or anything like
But
that.
also, Bring Me the Horizon has kind of progressed into like a more modern sense of music. Because I mean, they don't do super light vocals anymore. That's very upbeat or anything like that. They've gotten more into the screamy type of
Yeah,
music.
more heavier.
Yeah, but I'm really digging this new Attack Attack album.
I really like it. It's really solid. Even though it's only like 5 songs, really good.
Yeah. Um, and I listened to the commentary for each of the songs too.
Yeah, I did too.
And I was like, I was super interested. I'm like, oh, so, and this is something that I never really thought of for music artists, but oftentimes they'll create the sound and then write words around the song. Like they come up with all the chords, they'll come up with the chorus sound or the drop at the middle to end point, and then they'll write their lyrics to how they think the song is gonna go.
They do like music first and then vocals.
Yeah.
I'm sure every band does it differently, but
You know,
I know. So I'm sure there's bands that like do vocals first and then play music around it.
yeah, and I think that's what they did that with one of their songs they talked about. I think it was. I don't think it was "Fade with Me." It was one of their other songs of the album, but they wrote the words first, and then they're like, okay, well, let's find a sound that can go behind it. And they specifically mentioned that, like, this song was that. All right, well, Luke, it's been an honor and a privilege serving with you. Thank you for being with me here.
The pleasure's all mine, Captain. It was great serving under you on this great evening. Argity, 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 argity.
And in the morning, we shall send ye out on the front lines, and that is what we're going to do.
God bless America. Save me a whiskey.
We'll pour one out for you when you get back in a flag.
Do you smell bacon?
I don't want this one. What
How's
the
this?
heck?
Boom, boom. Oh, the rave. Hold on, do I have that? Hold on. Where are my presets? That's not it.
This one goes too fast. We just hit fiddling with our LEDs.
Yeah, I don't know how to do, like, the strobe. But, this one reacts to my voice. Like,
Really?
duh. Like, I'm not touching the remote. Ready? Duh. Duh.
It's really cool.
Duh. 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 Bow. Whoa. 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 Durr. Beep. 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 Whoa.
That's funny. I'm probably gonna do purple.
Should I match you just so our palettes are about the same?
Or do similar. Or just do.
Yeah. Your purple's much darker than mine. Your purple's so much darker than mine.
That's super blue.
That's probably fun, though.
I'm smooth.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, something like that or a little lighter.
Yeah.
That's probably good. Now you look like Thanos instead of the Oompa Loompa, what's-her-face girl from Willy Wonka. Madam Blueberry.
And I have the little light on my camera turned on.
Yeah, I have a little blue light on mine.
Because it's 2 modes.
No, pretty sure it was really real people because they were good. Like, it wasn't people being stupid or anything. I think. But I was like, this is my very first game. Let's record it. So I record it. I get like 3 kills. I even did the thing where, you know, you camp on the top of the hill as the lion is rushing toward you. And you just look out for people that are trying to make it last minute, and that's how I got 2 of my kills.
You're like, heh, sucker.
Yeah, and I had the M24 and the Scar, I think. So I just took the M24 and just long-ranged him. One shot, 1 kill, body shot.
Yeah.
But it was a blast, and I ended up dying. I think I got 16th, which isn't terrible.
It's not bad.
Especially, I was playing solo too. So, you know, I stopped the file or whatever, and then I'm like, okay, well, let's go edit the file. So I dragged the file into Premiere.
Oh, no.
It says, oh, file cannot be read. And I realized that my video file was in FLV format, which is the one kind of video file that Premiere cannot handle.
So you can't record PUBG?
No, I can, but my OBS was set to FLV instead of like MP4 or whatever. And I was trying to look online for like an hour and a half for different video encoders to like transport it into an MP4 or MOV or whatever.
Yep.
And I couldn't. Everything else was like, you only get 100 megabyte file size limit. I'm like, dude, this is like 4 gigabytes.
I can't do that.
Like, it's a huge file. So I'm like, I don't know how to do that. So I just Googled online. I'm like, how do I convert an FLV file? And I just scrolled past all the ones that had like downloadable files or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out that OBS can automatically do it for you. So I'm like, oh, the the resolution was in my hands the whole time.
I could have done it, but I just couldn't find it.
And you know what the worst part is? I got so frustrated. Because I recorded one of those. I recorded a PUBG video and then a couple Halo videos, and I got so mad because I couldn't find what I was looking for. I just deleted the original files. So once I figure out how to do it properly, I'm like, oh, well, but I deleted it, so that PUBG episode is lost in space.
Never to see the light of day.
Nope, it's just gone.
Well, I'm sure we could record sometime.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because I've played a handful of matches, and some of them are really fun, and other times I just get swamped on. Because there was one game I didn't even wear headphones for, and I just got killed immediately.
Oh yeah.
I was lazy. I'm like, meh. Got shot. And log off.
Yeah, but I'm excited to play again. It's just an issue, because it's the same thing with Age of Empires, is the games take so long.
Yeah. Well, with PUBG, though, there is team deathmatch, so either 4v4 or 8v8, and you just like practice different guns and stuff. And of course, there's classics, so you can just play, like duos or squads or solo, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is that it depends on what map you get. So if you get a Miramar map, the desert map, that's going to be a half-hour game, easy.
Oh yeah.
Whereas if you get Sandhawk or Karakin or Karakin or whatever, how you say it, the other desert map, those are much smaller, so those are only like maybe 20-minute games, if that.
Yeah.
Because instead of being 8 kilometer by 8 kilometer, it's 2 kilometer by 2 kilometer instead.
Mm-hmm.
So they're much quicker.
Yeah.
Or you just hot drop the entire time and get a lot of crazy moments. But
And sometimes you want that, sometimes you don't.
yeah, sometimes you want to win, sometimes you just want to have fun.
Yeah, or both. Maybe you win by having fun.
But I definitely want to play because I've only played like 2 hours of the game so far.
Okay.
Just kind of get warmed up.
Yeah, but we'll do that when we have time in the evenings, because time sure is limited.
Yeah, especially tonight. I feel like I just got home a minute ago.
Yeah, because you were busy. So, are you able to play Halo or not tonight?
I haven't. I don't know. We could either play like a round or two of Halo in a couple minutes because I have to go get some lunch stuff together for tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
We can do a couple rounds of Halo. Or we can do like a round of PUBG just to see how it is or something.
Let's do a round of PUBG. I feel like that would be. Okay, don't deep throat the mic.
I didn't do anything. That wasn't me. That was fake.
Oh, that was Patricia.
That was Patricia. Stop it.
I like how I have a microphone on my headset and a microphone in front of me.
Yeah, I have.
I'm just having.
I have triple. I have this and this, even though this one doesn't do anything.
Oh.
But this is my best pair of headphones right now, so I can't really change it. So what I'm drinking today is I'm drinking this thing. It's kind of backward, but it's called Anderson Valley Cherry Ghost, and it's like a sour beer.
Interesting.
It's been in the fridge for like 2.5 months, so I'm like, I'm gonna drink it.
Time to open that thing. We're gonna do a podcast. Are we just doing video podcasts from now on to make it easy?
I guess, or maybe for most of them, it's gonna make the editing process a bit harder, with like to cut out all the pauses and ums and stuff like that. But I think mostly we just keep it as it is.
Or just do once in a while.
Yeah.
Like every other or something. Yeah. Even though the last one we did was video because it was the Jen and Micah.
Yeah, we kind of had to. There's so many people.
Yeah.
And this is our first one where it's just me and you doing video.
Yeah, because we've only done 2 with video so far.
Yeah. So let's see how this goes. I might be kind of nervous.
And kind of scary. It's my first time.
It's like I don't do good in social situations, so it's like I don't know what to do.